Well, hello everyone, and let me figure out how to share my screen because that will be helpful. Um, okay. Hey Tejas, hey Troy, hey Justin. It feels like I'm streaming on Twitch, except not on Twitch. Screen share. Let's try that. Okay, let's go to screen 2. Actually, before I do that, there we go. We got slides now. All right. So welcome. This is Never Miss Your Favorite Twitch stream using Courier. So I'm going to start by doing a little overview of Courier. So I've got some slides to go through just to kind of tell you what we're about and what we're doing. And then we'll dive into this fun application where we're going to hook up to a glitch app that will be able to be yours and you can take and do with what you please. That will receive event sub-events from Twitch and then feed those directly into Courier. And you can do things like send notifications whenever someone goes online. There's also lots of other events that we'll cover that's possible. And where you take this from here, it's really up to you. So it's going to be a great starter, and hopefully it's going to inspire some of your projects that you're doing at Hackable this weekend. I think it was 2 years ago, I was in Tampa for Hackable on site. So at the USF campus. Yeah. So I stayed up all night with y'all, 24 hours, and it was great. So let's get into it. I think I need to, okay. I've got like multiple monitors, and if you don't have things on the right thing, the spacebar doesn't work. There we go. So Courier enables developers to manage their user notifications across every channel. So as developers, you're probably used to having to implement Twilio and then implementing SendGrid or SparkPost or maybe Firebase for push. Or if you're sending notifications on Slack, you have to learn all those different integrations and implement them individually in your application. With Courier, we can handle all of that using just the Courier API. So we're going to look into that. And that is the Courier approach. And so we've got all of your channels. You can see Slack, you can see SendGrid. I think that's WhatsApp, MS Teams, Postmark, Twilio, lots of things there. And then there's Discord, which is the one that we're going to be using today. So we use a no coding template. I've been working in email and different communications for like more years than I care to disclose right now. But back in the day, whenever we would implement these different integrations, we would have to design the messages that went around along with them. With Courier, you can use our drag and drop templates, our drag and drop blocks to build templates to make your messages say what they need to say. And we can do such things as, like, you can see here in the curly braces, we got first_name. So we're able to pass in information and use template variables to fill those in. So no more do you have to fiddle around with like the early 1990s HTML that's involved in sending an email or any of the other things. So, with Slack, they use BlockKit. And then for text, it's just plain text, but we can help you design your messages. And we can do that for every channel. So if you notice back here, we were focused on an email. So this is our email frame. But we also have, there's email again in the background there. You can see a Slack message, and then you can see an SMS message. So we will help you design these notifications across all the different channels. And then something that's really cool is we have rules that you can apply to these notifications. So no longer are you just sending to email or are you just sending to SMS. You can make intelligent decisions around what to use. So my favorite example is whenever I'm flying, well, back in the day when I used to fly, I would fly Delta. And if there was a gate change in the middle of my trip, I would get a text message, I'd get an email, I'd get a push notification from the app, and then sometimes they would also call me. They really wanted to make sure I knew about that gate change. But with Courier, you can set up a notification for, let's say, a gate change notification, and you can add all of those channels. And what Courier will do is look at the person you're sending it to, and it will say, do we have their push token? Do they have the app installed? If so, yeah, let's send that message using a push, because that's probably the best channel, because they can just click on that push and go into the app, and if they need to like find the map, whatever. And then we can say, oh, if they don't have that push token, but we have their phone number, let's send them a text message, because text messages are better than emails usually, better performing. But if we don't have their phone number, we can say, well, if all else, let's just send them the email, because whenever you sign up for your account, whenever you book your ticket, you're giving them the email. So that way, instead of sending all three methods at the same time, we're picking what would be considered the best method for that user. And so we have lots of different rules that we can set up in that same vein. We can have recipients set up like their preference. So if they give you, their push token, they give you your phone number, their email, and anything else, we can say, well, for this notification, they prefer it coming across as a push, and for these notifications, they prefer it coming across as text. And so that takes that out of your hands, that you don't have to actually build that logic into your app. You can just let Courier handle it. And then I think most importantly, it's one line of code. So if you need to send a message, you just need to do a Courier send endpoint. So you need to make a post to that, and you can use one of our many SDKs. So if you go over to our Discord channel in the Hackable Discord, there is a message that I've pinned linking out to all of our different SDKs. So if you use Python, if you use Go, if you use Node.js, we've got you covered, and there's a few others. But this one line of code is very powerful because it will check for the user's preferences. Do they want to receive this as an email? Do they want to receive it as a text? It will check other default rules. It will make the appropriate template for anything, and it will select the relevant API or provider. So very, very cool. A lot of power there. And then down here at the bottom, it says, check your logs to avoid resending the same notification. We have a great log system. The thing that I really like is if the message doesn't send, but it actually hits our endpoint, you can come into the logs. And I think that's actually the next slide. You can see all the information that was sent. You can see what the decision was and why. So did it go to email? Why did it go to email? And then you can actually see the response from the different providers. So I think if we go here, yeah, we've got, and is this a GIF? Oh, I thought it was. So this is just information about our logs. So you can see what happened with the request that you made. Did it finish? You can see if people opened. We have open tracking, link click tracking for a lot of things. And there's just a lot of power that you can look in and see that. So this is the application that we're going to be using. This is Courier, and hopefully all of you have signed up, but if not, we're going to have some time in here to do it as well. But let's get into creating an application that will receive these events from Twitch and start sending out notifications. All right. Checking all my messages. So here's a simple overview of what it is that we're building out. And this is Excelidraw. If you like this, ask me about it later in our channel. This is my new favorite way to like map out applications, and it's a great visual way to do it because it looks like I hand wrote everything. So we're going to start with Twitch event subs. And so they are going to, okay, good. I see my cursor here. They are going to fire based on what subscription you have. So Twitch has a number of different subscription types. Whenever somebody follows your channel, subscribes to your channel, does a cheer or raid your channel, if you update your channel or somebody does something with channel points, it can send a message to this receiver and do something. And then the same thing is when your stream goes online and offline. So for today, we're going to focus on this stream online event. So what we're going to say is anytime this user, this broadcaster goes online, send a post to this Glitch app. And so if you're not familiar with Glitch, Glitch is an environment that you can use to build applications. And then the great thing about it is you can put an application out there and then other people can remix it and use that as a starting point for their application. So I've created a Node.js and Express application that's all set up to start accepting these Twitch webhooks. So what we're going to do first is we're going to configure this app. Well, we're going to remix it so that way you have your own version, and then we're going to configure it to work. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into like the details of what the app is doing. I do have a blog post series that kind of steps you through everything, and then as always, I'm going to be available in Discord to help you answer any questions with that. So I really want to make it to where we can start using this and getting in and seeing the power of Courier. So we're going to remix the Glitch app. We're going to configure it. And then whenever we start receiving these events, it's going to grab them, grab some more information about the stream, and then pass that on to Courier. And then Courier is going to decide which channel or which provider to send it out to. So here I just listed Discord, Twilio, and SendGrid. But for this workshop, we're just going to focus on sending a message through Discord. So I have worked with the organizers of Hackable, and I have installed a Courier bot, Discord bot into the server, and we're going to use it to send direct messages to ourselves. You can also send messages to channels, but to keep the noise down, we're going to go ahead and just send direct messages, and then I can help you create your own bot, create your own server. We can experiment with sending to a channel instead of a DM user afterwards. Like I said, come into our channel in the Discord, and happy to work through all of that with you. But the beauty of Courier is once you start sending messages with one provider, it's a snap to add other providers and start sending things. So let's get started. And there's a lot of links here, and I realize you can't click on the screen, and so I'm going to try to drop them into the chat for you so you can follow along. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remix the Glitch app. And so I'm going to drop a link into the chat so you can get to this Glitch app. And whenever you remix it, oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Mara. And whenever you remix it, it's going to probably ask you to log in. And with Glitch, all you have to do is log in with your GitHub. I think they have some other authentication methods, but it's really simple to do. So this Glitch app is going to handle accepting the posts from the Twitch event sub. It's going to query the Twitch API for more details, and it's going to call the Courier list send with those stream details. And so let's very quickly go over and take a look. Oh, I see a lot of you on there. Glitch is a very great collaborative platform. So if you're working on a project, they have this mechanism where you can like highlight an area and raise your hand. And if there's anybody in the Glitch community watching, they can jump into your app and actually like help you out. It's pretty cool. I have this resources. So going forward, whenever you see code on the screen, there's going to be a corresponding file in this resources folder that has it all typed out. So all you have to do is change it and execute it. So that way you don't have to try to like write everything down that's on the screen. But you'll remix this application. If you go down to the bottom here, there is a button that says Remix on Glitch. That's going to create your own copy. So everything you do after you hit that button is going to be on your own Glitch. And it will come up with like an interesting name. You can go up and change it if you like. So you can go up here and click and change the name, but I'm not going to do that because that will just mess all of you all up. And this app is just a simple Express.js server. And you can see if you've used Express.js before, it's just a way of doing. Is it only for Node.js? This application that I wrote is for Node.js as an example. So that's why I'm not going like too far into it, because you can write this with any framework you like. So if you wanted to do like a Python with Flask, any framework that works with your language that builds these endpoints is what we're working with. So I'm going to try to keep it kind of high level. But there's applications for everything, and you know, you don't have to use this for your project, but hopefully it's just there to inspire. So in this Express app, this is what's going to create our routes that is going to be hit by Twitch, and then it's also going to make the call to Courier. And so there is a single route here, and it is our /webhook/callback. And so that what's going to happen is that's going to be what goes on the end of, and if you go to show in a new window, this becomes your URL. And then whenever you put that route on the end, that is what we're going to give to Twitch. I have a lot of problems because there's Twitch, there's Twitter, there's Glitch, there's Discord, there's Discourse. Everything is a tongue twister. And yes, you can find all of our SDKs on our GitHub repo. Thank you, Troy. But if we go into this, this route, we can see that it's just a simple route. If we go down to the actual route, that accepts the post. It does some checking to conform with the standards for Twitch. It receives an event. And what we're doing is we're looking for the stream.online event. And we are calling this send online function. And then up here in the send online function, we're getting the stream data. And so I wrote a little function that uses the Twitch API to grab more information on the stream based on the user ID, pull that into a data object, and then we're just going to send it over to Courier. And so we're going to use a list send. And what that's going to allow us to do is send to multiple recipients at the same time. But for right now, we're only going to focus on the one. So later, we're going to create the list and then add a recipient to it, and that recipient's going to be your Twitch DM information. So we're targeting an event that we're calling Twitch Online. We'll be creating that notification and mapping it to this event. And then we're just targeting a list called twitch.stream.online. And so that's an overview of this Glitch app. So if you haven't done so, go ahead and hit the remix button, because the next thing that we're going to do is configure it. And the configuration just involves updating some environment variables. So I have a .m file here. It's got all of my keys, so I'm not going to click on it. But once you remix it, you're going to get that .m file without any of the values filled in. So we're going to work on filling in those values. And there's more information about these values and where you can get them in the README, but we're going to walk through that next. So let's go back over here. So we've got our Glitch app. Hopefully you all have your own. And so the next thing we need to do is, since we're using the Twitch API and event sub, we need to have a Twitch application. And this is going to give us the client ID and the secret that we need to authenticate against this API. And so we'll create a new app using the Twitch Developer Console. And does everybody have a Twitch account? I think I make this assumption that like everybody's using Twitch now, right? That's the thing to do. Nope, you don't? Okay. So what I can do is, for those of you who don't have a Twitch account, I'll walk through this process and then I will share my keys, because after this, I can delete the app. But just so you can go through the motions and use this. So let's say on Monday, I'm going to delete that app. But through the weekend, if you want to continue playing with this, go for it. Just don't do anything bad, I guess. Okay. Yeah, please don't. So we're going to go to the Twitch Dev Console, and I've got a link for that as well. Yeah, fingers crossed. I'll know. I'll find out. Now I'm wondering if this is such a good idea to share this. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I might delete it sooner than on Monday. Okay, so we're going to create an app, and what we're looking for is the client ID and the client secret, and we'll talk about the signing secret here in a moment. So let's go over. I've got the Twitch Developer Console. Got this error. You must have two-factor. Yes. Okay. So I tried to put this in the notes for this. You need to turn on 2FA for your Twitch account, and in general, turning on 2FA is great anyway. I highly recommend it. But what they're doing is they want to make sure that if you are a Twitch user that's going to start developing apps, that your account is safe. And so they won't allow you to create any applications unless there's 2FA on your account. So places like Twilio are doing this. I think SendGrid is as well. But it's safe to have the 2FA on. And so that's two-factor authentication. Yeah, so you can just quickly go into your regular Twitch account, into your settings, and turn that on. Yeah, thank you. Settings security. And you can see I already have a number of applications here already. And we are going to register your application. And that's going to take you here. And so I'm going to call this Courier Workshop Notifications. So you can give it a name, whatever name. This is for you. So whenever you go back and look in your console, you're going to see this name. For the OAuth redirect URL, I'm going to give it http://localhost 3000. That's a 4. And what this is going to do is later on, we're going to be using the Twitch CLI. And that's going to allow the CLI to do different auth things. So if you get to the point where you want to do something with a notification that needs a user auth token, then the Twitch CLI can help you out with that. But it needs this redirect URL to work. All right, so we got that. For category, I usually just do application integration, but if you are building a game integration or a website integration, chatbot, etc., feel free to describe it however you're doing it. There's a lot of cool things that the Twitch API does that you could possibly build into an application. So, and then I'm going to hit I'm not a robot. It didn't challenge me. Very trusting of them, and then we're going to hit create. And it boots you back out to the console. That's why you need to have a good name, because we need to go right back into it. Manage. And I'm going to copy 2 pieces of information. So there's the client ID. That's one piece we need. So I recommend copying these somewhere safe. We're going to be putting them inside the .m file here in a minute, but I like to keep them separate as well. So I use 1Password, and so I do like secure notes that have this information in there, so that way I can go back and look at it. The client ID is pretty easy, but once we generate this client secret, we're never going to see it again. And so the only thing you can do is generate a new one, which is fine. But if you have lots of applications that's using it, you have to go track them all down and update that. So I'm going to copy this out, and I'll add a new secret, and yes. And so here's keep this confidential. So I'm showing you all, very confidential. And then this is our secret. So I'm going to copy that. Now, for those of you who don't have a Twitch account, I'm going to paste these in the chat. And secret. So just remember, be good. We're all under the code of conduct, et cetera, et cetera. I'm very trusting. Oh. Well, that looks really great. Let me try that again. I went into another window and I formatted it all nicely, but apparently this chat doesn't care about new lines. Let's do this. So there's the client ID, and there's the secret. And this is going to be the fun part because I can't show you this file. But if you click on this .m file, you will see places with the Twitch _client_ID and Twitch _client_secret. So just take those values that you just made and put them in there. If you're using mine, there you go. And at any time I can regenerate that secret and it stops your thing from working. So that's why it's really good to make your own. If anybody's having any problems up to now, just let me know in the chat. Otherwise, we'll continue on. So the other variable that I want to talk about is this Twitch_client_secret. Now this can be any kind of word, any word you want, a string, no spaces. And this is what we're going to use to verify that the posts coming from Twitch are actually coming from Twitch. So we put in a word. I like to use Purple Monkey Dishwasher, all one word, because I grew up watching The Simpsons. And what we will do is we will use that to generate a signing secret, a signing signature that we can compare against the signing signature that's coming from Twitch. Now, I've already done all of that work, but if you're interested in what's happening up here in middlewares, there's the Twitch signing secret or verify Twitch signing secret function. And so we're just grabbing some information from the headers of that request, and we're using it to compute a signature. And then we're saying, do the signatures match? So the only people who can generate a signature that will match are the people who have this signing secret. So we want to keep that one secret as well. We got, okay, a little behind. How do I get the OAuth redirect URLs? So the OAuth redirect URL that we're going to use, let me find my cursor, is we're just going to give it http://localhost 3000. So that's all you need, because the only redirect URL we're going to use right now is with the CLI, and that's what the CLI requires you to add. And then where am I supposed to paste this? So if you go to, this is where you paste your in Glitch. Sadly, we can't paste images. Can I open this? Hey, let me try this. So you can see, if you open up your .m file, there are places inside this graphical version of the .m where there's variable value. And so if you just paste those values on here, and it will save automatically. Sure. So there's not really a process of making a signing secret variable. So you can see in this image here. Can I click that again to make that? Oh, that's better. Okay. So you can see that there is a variable for Twitch signing secret, and it just needs a value. And so really what you need to do is just pick a string. It's like create your own password. So like I said, I just used Purple Monkey Dishwasher. You just need to use something that you can remember, which it's going to be right here for you to look. But whenever we get to the point where we are making a subscription to Twitch using the CLI, then you will need that again. So whenever we make a subscription, we're going to say, pass the data to this endpoint, this URL, and here is the signing secret that you need to create the signature. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. So those are the three variables we need, and that's what we need from the Twitch application. Which means it's now time to sign up for Courier. Okay, what do we got? What is the difference between signing in secret and client secret? That's a good question. So for authentication to the Twitch API, they use an OAuth setup. And so that means that you need a client ID and a client secret. Those values are going to be used to create an access token. And then that access token is going to allow you to grab information from the API. You don't have to worry about doing that process. It's all done inside of the twitch.js library that I'm using. But we do need those two pieces of information available for that library so it can make the call for us. So if those two are just part of the API authentication. And then the signing secret is used to generate a signature for the request, so we can verify that it came from the right place. So that way, if we didn't implement signing signatures, someone could try to spoof a request and put it into your app. Yeah, as long as you paste the client ID and secret in, it's done. Oh, okay. So let's go back to there. So the variable is just Twitch underscore client underscore secret. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right? Like you paste into this chat and it takes away all the new lines. And then it's like, oh, I'm crazy. Yeah, good. And as always, if you have any questions and we run out of time, I'm available here in the chat. I'm also going to give you copies of these slides. And on the last slide, there's a bunch of links for resources. And so one of them is the blog post where I like actually go through detail explaining what's happening in this app. But I just wanted to get you a copy of this app and get it configured, and then we can start playing with Courier. So I see how you can send messages using Courier, but is there a way to receive them using Courier? No, the Courier is for sending the notifications. So if you wanted to do something like receive messages from SMS, you would have to implement that using Twilio. And so what you could do is use this application, since it's a Node.js and Express application. You could add another route that you can give to Twilio's configuration. And whenever messages go into, or whenever people send a message to that phone number, it would send a request to this app, and you can configure it to do what needs to be done. That makes sense. Cool. Excellent. Excellent. So now's the time. If you have not already done it, please sign up for Courier and go through the quick start and send your first email. So it's very exciting to walk through and get that very first email. So we have a few ways that you can do it. For timing, I recommend just using curl. It's very easy to just copy it out and put it into a terminal. But we also have examples for using Node.js, Go, PHP, Python, Ruby, Java, all of them in there. And you can use courier.com/hackable to sign up. Bloop. And get started. So how many of you have not yet created a Courier account yet? Were we all on it? I saw a lot of people early on, like starting yesterday and today, creating their Courier accounts. So I made an account, haven't sent an email yet. Okay. Yeah. Did you go through the quick start? So on the side, there's a little flag. So let me see. Whoop. Let me pull up my Courier account. Not yet. Cool. Doing it as we speak. It should be quick. It is a quick start. Yeah, so if you somehow leave the quick start, you can always get back to it with this little flag, and then we'll take you right back in. And so you can see that I've done it, and I got a success. So my step 2 says success. So let's talk about, and we can get you caught up if you're not done yet. But what I want to make sure that we do, my command can't be, I wonder, are you on a Windows machine? I've been a Mac user for so long that I make this assumption that everybody else is. Do you have the Windows Linux subsystem installed? Yeah, I think they realized that, and that's why they gave that. Yeah, so I don't know how you run curl in command. I know that there's an option with Windows now where you can install bash, and it will work in there. Okay. You have bash, yeah. So if you open up a bash or PowerShell, I guess, or you can download and install curl. These are the things that I just didn't know because I don't have Windows. Like I have like a machine sitting next to me that I played video games on, but it's got Windows 7 on it. And apparently we're at like 10 now. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you're having to install a lot of things, feel free to put that on pause. We can always go back to it by clicking on that little flag. And we can help you out in the channel. But let's go ahead and get Discord set up. And so what I did is I created a Discord bot that we all can use for this workshop. And it's connected to our Hackable 2021 server. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Courier integrations. So let me real quickly, if you click on this little plug icon, and I can make this a little bigger. Might be too big, but we'll find out. So if you click on the integrations on the side, this little plug, I already have it up here. But if you go down to the integration catalog, you'll find Discord. And what we're going to do is we're going to set this bot token. And so I'm going to give you the bot token for the bot that I have installed. Afterwards, if Discord is something you want to use and you want to create your own bot, I'm happy to help you with that. It's not too difficult, but I just didn't want everybody to get caught up and then have to worry about getting it installed somewhere during this time. So I'm going to paste in the chat. This is the bot token that you're going to put in this box. And we're just going to work with the top box. So the second is for test configuration. We do have environments in Courier. So we have a production environment and a test environment. For the hackathon, I suggest you just work in the production environment. Live dangerously. Do it in production. But if you wanted to have like a test bot and a production bot, so that way you could test things out in the test environment, you could put in a different bot token into that second one. So let me pass that in. Loop. And again, this token is probably only going to live for this weekend. So if you want to use something for your project, I suggest building your own bot. And it's not as difficult as it sounds. So go ahead and put that into the bot token and hit, I think it says install on the first time. It will later become save. And that's all we need to do to set up Discord in Courier. How are we feeling out there? Trying not to overwhelm you. Yeah, it is pretty seamless. So the next parts that we're going to do aren't that bad either. I think that now we get to actually look at creating our notification. And so I've got some things to help you out there too. Oh, no, first we're going to set up our list, I guess. I forgot the order that I put things in. So we're going to set up our list. So we talked about I'll pull it up here. Wait, was anything supposed to happen after we put in the token? So I think you'll see that the button says save now instead of install, but like there's no fireworks or unicorns flying across the screen. Like if you use Asana, that's something that happens. Yeah. So as long as the button says save now, then that means that it's anything you do will save it and it's already installed. Yep. So if we go back to our route, we can see in this call to Courier, and let me make this bigger too, we are using a list called twitch.stream.online. And so we're gonna make that list, and then we're gonna add a recipient to it, or I think we'll do it the other way around. So the first thing we wanna do, and I wrote these using curl, because I thought everybody had access to curl. So if you get behind, again, we can help you out afterwards as well. Yeah, sorry, sorry, Windows users that don't have Bash. Oop. Okay, So we're going to create a recipient, and this is the curl command that you're going to need. And I have in the resources, you can see create recipient.sh. And so this is the same curl command. And what we're going to do is we are going to get your courier auth token, and we're going to save it in the .m file. And we're going to put it here. And then we're going to get your Discord user ID and put it there. And then we can execute this. And this is going to create a recipient and save it in Courier. Oh, and then we also have to give it an ID. So, all right. So for the ID, let's just make this something that's unique. And what I do a lot for my examples is I just do something like, I'm going to put my name and I'm going to put my zip code. Because one, you're going to be very hard pressed to like find an Adrian that's spelled like this, but it's going to be even harder to find one that's spelled like that in that zip code. So that's my idea of what a good, unique, but readable recipient ID is. You can make it whatever you like. You can put in your email address. You can put in, I don't know, like your birth date as numbers. It's up to you. But a recipient ID is just a string that is unique per recipient. That makes sense. So I'm going to put that in there, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to find my Courier auth token, and that is also in a different tab. So if we go back to Courier and we go down to the bottom and you see the settings, you can click on that. We can click on API keys, and we want to copy this production key published. So if you click this, it will copy it to your clipboard, and then we can do two things with it. First, we can save it. We can replace this Courier auth token here with that key. I'm not going to paste mine so you don't see it. And then you can go into your .m file. And just like we did with the Twitch client ID and the client secret, we can write it in there. And that environment variable works with all of our client libraries or SDKs. So that way you don't have to initiate a client and add your secret directly in using like in plain text. So that way you don't expose it whenever you do things like save it to GitHub. The clients, the clients that you create with the SDKs know to look for that variable. So it makes it a little bit easier and a little bit more secure. Which means before you like leave this page, you might want to make sure you don't have your auth token right there anymore. Which tab is the variable on? Which tab on where? So there's the environment variable. So it looks like this. If you click on .env, and you're going to see Courier auth token. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, so if we go back to our Courier, and down here at the bottom, there is settings. And then you can click API keys, and it's this published production key. And the link that Troy gave you, if you're logged in, will take you right to this page. Got it. Excellent. Okay, so you should have that value saved here. And then in your create recipient.sh, you should have it there as well. And now what we need to do is get this Discord user ID. And you can get that pretty easily. I'm going to pull my Discord over here so you can see. I'm guessing, is everyone using Discord on like a computer, like a desktop or a laptop? Because what you can do is if you click on user settings, which is this gear here by the headphones, you can go to appearance. So over on the left under app settings, there is appearance. And if you scroll to the bottom, there's developer mode, and you just turn that on. And that's going to make it really easy for you to get things like channel IDs, which Courier needs, and user IDs. Now, the other way that you could do it is you could use the Discord API and query for it that way. But just to be easy, we know who we are. We're part of this server. So now we can just go to and find your name. So like here's me, and you can right click, and now at the bottom there is a copy ID. And so that's going to give you your user ID for this server. And just put it right there. And so now this request is all created. And if you're using Bash, if you're using something other than Windows command, you should be able to execute this, and this will create a profile inside Courier for you. Yes, thank you. So it's, yeah, in Discord, it's settings, appearance, developer mode. I'm not sure what else developer mode turns on, but I know that you can copy IDs from channels and user IDs. So this is creating a recipient. Again, I'm using curl just because I thought it'd be easy to like paste into a command line. But there you can do this using any of our SDKs. You can do it using something like Postman or Insomnia, and by hitting our API directly. And then the second thing we're going to do is we're just going to add it to a list. And so we'll kind of walk through this one here. And if you go to subscribe to list.sh in that resources folder, you'll have another curl script. So we're going to need that Courier auth token. You can copy that from your .m file now. So you need to update that. Yes. And there is a Postman collection that we have up there that you can install, and then you have all of our API in your Postman. And I can help you with that afterwards as well. So for this command, we just need to update the Courier auth token. And then in this URL, we already have the list that we're going to be using. So that's twitch.stream.online. And then we just need to give it your ID, which for me, it's Adrian10036. And if you execute this, then it's going to add that recipient that we just created to a new list for twitch.stream.online. Cool. Like it's a lot of configuration, it seems. Yeah. Okay, I think I skipped a slide. I'm not seeing. Oh my gosh, I did. It's fine. The order doesn't really matter, but we didn't create our Courier notification. I thought there was something to miss there. So this is the fun part where we actually get to design it. Yeah, there it is. Our Postman collection. How are y'all feeling about this? This is going to be the fun part. This is the part where we don't have to use command line or anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the Courier application. So yeah, so we can create our notification using the Discord provider. Yeah, create a test event, which I have for you as well. We'll map it to that Twitch online. And yeah, we already updated our token in the bit. So let's go back to Courier. And I think I need to go down a size. Yeah. And so if we click on the little palette here, that is our notification designer. And so we're just going to, I have all kinds of notifications. So this is my demo account. But we're going to click on this green button here and create a notification. And then here we can give the notification any name that you like. I'm going to call this Twitch notification. I'm calling it Twitch Workshop notification because I have lots of Twitch notification ones. But this is going to be for a stream online. So you could do Twitch stream online notification. Just whatever you want to name it. That is for you to help you keep organized. So whenever you go back out to that view with all of the notifications, you know what's what. And then we're going to add the Discord channel. So under configured, you should see Discord because we just configured it. And we're going to click on that. And that's going to go over to over in the left underneath channel. So we now have a Discord channel. And we can click on that and get the Discord channel frame. So we got this nice little purple bar. It kind of looks like Discord. And we have all of these options for blocks. And so what we can do now is we can actually build out the notification that's going to get sent. And so do I have a little example? So there's things that we're sending over, and we can put little variables in there. So I wish I would have copied this, but let's say broadcaster.name is playing game.name on Twitch. So I'm going to add a block, and I'm going to clear everything. And I'm going to use a variable. So this is sending over information and data that we have access to. And I'm going to show you what that looks like here in a minute. But we can say broadcaster.name is playing. Oh my gosh, what happened there? Playing game.name on Twitch. I'll just do this one block for right now, but you can see I have two variables in here. So in the data that we brought over, it's going to look for broadcaster.name. So there's a broadcaster object with a name property, and then there's also a game object with a name property. And so this is a way that you can make the notifications very dynamic. So just putting in variables and things like that. And you can do that with links. You can do that with images. Those are curly braces, or sometimes known as mustaches. So for example, broadcaster.name. And you might be saying, oh, what are all these values that we can use? Well, if you go back over to your resources folder, there is a courier test event. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy that. And we can go over into courier. And if we go to preview, we can create a test event. So just hit that button. And I'm going to delete everything that's in there and paste in what we copied. And I'm going to call it a test Twitch event. Now we can use this to like generate previews. So we know if what we put in there actually works. So here you can see this is what our data object looks like that we're sending over from our application. And so here's stream.title. We can put the title of the stream in. Here's game.name. Here's broadcaster.name. And so we have all of those available to us. And if I think you actually have to hit create test event. And then what it's going to do is it's going to generate a preview. So you can see that it filled in the broadcaster.name and the game, which is talk shows and podcasts. If you're familiar with StreamYard, that's their favorite game for everybody to play whenever you're broadcasting using it. And this preview that you're seeing is actually Twitch Markdown. And so we generate Twitch Markdown, not Twitch, sorry, Discord. It's actually Discord Markdown. We generate the Discord Markdown and we post it to the channel, and then Discord takes care of formatting it. So you could play around with the designer add more things like so I want to add, let's add the link. So if I'm going to add another block, and what I want is I want a link that's at the bottom because Discord will unfurl that. And so I can just do https://. And if you're working in Discord, links don't work unless they start with HTTPS or HTTP. If you just put in, twitch.tv, it's not going to see it as a link. How I got that option of create event. So whenever you go to preview, yeah, that's enough there. So whenever you go to preview the first time, there's going to be a button down here that says create test event. For all other times, over here in the preview details, there's this view test events. And then you can do a new test event there. And then what's nice is the test event that is selected, whenever you do a new test event, you're going to get a copy of that. And so like maybe you want to test it out with a different streamer's name or different values. You can just create a copy, change it, and then save that as a different event. So you want to make sure that you're in this preview tab. And let me pull this down here. So yeah, so whenever you hit the preview for the first time, you're going to see this guy playing with his model rocket, and there's a create test event button there. Cool. So I'm going to go back in here, and I'm just going to finish this out. And it is twitch.tv/name. Did I do? Yeah, let's do that too. And so that will create a link that will unfurl whenever it gets posted. The other thing you could do is add an image. So if you add an image and you hit the button, we've got information for the image block. And for the image path, we can also give that a variable. And so one of the variables that we have is stream.thumbnail URL. Thumbnail URL. That's something that the Twitch API returns to you, and we're just passing it over. So you could also maybe I want this up here. So you can drag and drop these blocks around, create different blocks. And if we preview it, we're going to get the URL and then the URL that we put in. And whenever we send these to Discord, it's going to unfurl them and show the images and the link. And the last thing you want to do is make sure that whenever you're done making changes, you hit publish changes, especially on that first time. So we do have kind of the notion of things that are in draft and things that are published. So as you are working on things, those go into draft, and any notifications that come in will go using the last published version. So after you're done making changes, you can just hit published or publish, and it will start sending that new notification that you created. Okay. So we've hit our hour. I hope this thing doesn't shut off on me. The next thing we would do would be to send a little test using the Twitch CLI, but you have to have that installed. And then you configure it using the values that we grabbed earlier. So it might be a good idea to try this test later, and I can help anybody with it after you have installed the CLI. But this is just a great way to actually simulate what is happening coming from Twitch. And so we trigger this event, and the CLI will generate an event with the correct payload and the signature and send it to your location. And then it will go through the whole thing, because in the end, this works now. And then the last thing you would want to do is actually create the event subscription. So that way Twitch actually starts sending messages, because right now we haven't flipped that switch. And so you can use the Twitch CLI to do that as well. And if this is something that you want to do, I would suggest coming over to our chat channel and doing that. We can help you out with that. But before I leave you, let's actually trigger something so you can see this working. And we're going to do that using our Send tab. But to do that first, we need, so we're going to do a Send tab. And in the Send tab, this actually generates all of the information that you need to send. So it's using information from the test case that we have in there. So you can see it's put that in there. But if you were to copy and paste this into like your Node.js application, or if you were still using curl, or if you were using Java, I know there's people using Java. Looks like it's missing some information. That's interesting. Or Python. I know there's some people using Python, so this is what a Python example looks like. But it's building this code snippet for you as you're filling things out. So what I want to do is I want to go back to our test case here, and you can access the test events here as well. And I'm going to build out this profile object. So that way we can trigger this message through here. And so I know that's going to take a Discord object and its user ID. And I'm going to get my user ID here in a moment. Scroll that up. So this is similar to what we created. For the step when we created the recipient. If you successfully created your recipient, you can also use that ID in this other screen. But I am just going to quickly find my Discord. I'm going to go back and find me, copy my ID, and click in here. And just to make sure, I'm going to go to my docs to direct messages, Discord, and I want to send a direct message. And so, yeah, so it looks like this. This is what the profile looks like with the user ID. And with any luck, I'm going to save that. So now when we go to send, and if you wanted to use the recipient that you created, here's a recipient ID right here. So you didn't have to fill in that profile information in the test event. So I could have put in Adrian10036 if that recipient was created. And now I can hit, let me go back to there. I don't think it makes sense. I'm going to hit send notification. It's like I want to do this so I can quickly, okay, so I'm going to hit send notification. And it's sent, and you can see I have a message here waiting from CourierBot, and it says Try Courier is playing talk shows and podcasts on Twitch, and this is what the preview image would be if we were actually online. And so what the preview image does is it takes like a snapshot in time whenever you view that image. So if we were actually looking at somebody who's online, we would see what they were currently doing. And then here is a link to the Twitch account. So you can see that these both unfurled. And I got a direct message. And then here, I'm going to hover over it. Unauthorized. Okay. So this tells me, what? Wait, did you run this through the Send tab? Because if you're using the Send tab, like just hitting that send notification button, then it should be using your account's ID. Oh, you used curl. Okay, so whenever you're using curl, there is a part you would need to update before you send that, and it would need your Courier auth token. So you would have to replace that, because I don't think it actually shows the auth token in here. Or if it does, I just showed you my auth token multiple times. Now I'm afraid to go look while it's on the screen. But you should be able to just hit that send notification button. Trying to type in the send. Oh yeah, so I'm going to let go of this, but whenever you hit the send notification and it sends, it pops up this little notification that says your notification has been queued, and you can actually click details and it will take you directly to the logs. I'll go the long way because I'll let this dismiss. There it goes. But you don't type directly in here. You build this notification using the test event. So depending on what you were trying to type, so if you were trying to do the profile, then you would type it in the test event, and after you save that, it would update. You would see it updated here. So yeah, like maybe it would be nice to be able to like modify that before you copy it out, especially if you're doing something like sending it the curl. Okay, good. Oh, we fixed it. Yay. So whenever you were using the curl example, it puts almost everything you need in there. And so you would have to change all of these asterisks to your actual auth token. And if you're in this screen, there's a shortcut to get your auth token. If you open up the settings, it's right here. So you can copy that out. But yeah, that would be a good idea to be able to like update that before you copy it out and send it, because otherwise you would have to like paste it into a text editor and edit it beforehand. Share a screenshot of where you're trying. Oh yeah. Oh, it's Tony. Hey, Tony. Tony is also one of our engineers in the channel. So you've got Tony and Tejas, and then Troy is in here as well. There might be some others, but right now that's who I see. Wait, what? Oh, it's right there. Yeah, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. Yeah, it turns out the auth token is right here. You could show it. If you hit show, does it show? Okay, hold on. Does it like, if you hit show, does it also show it in the little snippet? Oh no. I'm gonna take this off screen so I can hit it. You got the notification. Hooray. Oh, okay. Oh, where did it go? What in the world? I lost my window. Oh, it's down here. Okay. Awesome. So you got the notification. It's sent it to you in Discord. So yeah, I mean, it took us a little bit over an hour, but the thing is, once you get one going, and I can quickly show you this, if you wanted to say add SMS, you can go back over to your design mode and you can add a channel and say add SMS. And I already have Twilio set up. We can help you get other providers set up. So I clicked it, it's over here. And maybe I want to send the same information. Well, I've already typed all of that information. The blocks that I already used are here in the library, so I can just grab and drop them over. So here's broadcaster name is playing game name on Twitch. I want to pass it, these as well, so they have the images. Images are kind of weird on text, so actually I think I'm just going to forego the image here, but this gives them a nice little message and the link, and you can preview that as well. And so because text messages are just plain text, it comes out as plain text, but this is the text that you would see. And we just added SMS in like, what, less than a minute, assuming that you had your integration installed. And so, yeah, like if you saw me in the other channel, I'm like, this is part of the beauty of it is once you start adding new forms, it's and you have your message started, you can just go. Maybe you're doing a mobile app and you want to have a push notification happen when this happens. So we can just add a channel. We can add push. I already have Expo set up. Our push channel's here. We can update the title, and I think I can do broadcaster name online, and we can just, I don't think you would probably want to do that. I think there's actions that would be involved, but you can just drag them over and you've added push. And again, we can go preview it, and this is what is going to be sent. So not as pretty of a preview, but it's enough to see that your notifications are done. And then once you have multiple notifications, you can kind of decide how you want these to happen. So maybe you want to send push, and if they have the app installed and we have their token, we'll send it as a push. If they don't have the app installed, but they have Discord, then we'll send it on Discord. And then as a last-ditch effort, we'll try to send it as an SMS. But you can also do things like, so for this, there's lots of conditions, and we can get into this like separately. Like there's just a lot of power here where we can say only send it to Discord if the service level equal pro or something like that. And so that way, if you pass over the person's service level in the data, and it might actually be stored in the profile. So there's a lot of different things that we can do. Then they will have the ability to send to Discord. And so, yeah, that's hide when. I'm going to take that off. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you at least got a little bit of a start. Happy to help you out to push over the finish line, and then happy to discuss any use cases, anything that you want to try to do, and would love to hear anything you're doing and how we can help. And I'm going to publish changes. So thank you. I know we went a little over. Happy hacking, and again, we're very excited to see what you're going to be doing. I'll just reiterate, we do have a prize for the best use of Courier. We're going to be giving out a $500 gift card to the team. So if you are a team of one, you could get $500. If you're a team of four, I think that's $125. But I think that's a pretty great gift or great award, and we're excited to see what you do with it. So I will see you all in Discord. Happy hacking.